Hey, I just wanted to take a minute and kind of go over something that's been a theme this week because I think the contractor marketing industry right now has got an honesty problem. I'm not talking about competitors. I'm talking about like those agencies, those online gurus out there. The course sellers. They're the people telling that you can get 200 extra leads a month, or you can 10x your revenue in the next 90 days. Because the truth is, most of that it's real. It's inflated. It doesn't make any sense. False claims, basically. Before you take advice from anyone, including me, I think you deserve to know exactly who you're listening to. So let's break into it just a little bit here, because here's what I'm starting to see. As a contractor, it doesn't matter which industry you're in, HVAC, plumbing, roofing, it doesn't matter. You're going to hire a marketing company. There's big promises. There's of guaranteed leads. A few months go by, all right, and yeah, the reports look great. We can go ahead and give you actual data on all that stuff. You're going to see clicks. You're going to see impressions. You might even see a few leads, but the phone still isn't ringing all the time, and your revenue hasn't changed. And that's why you hired the marketing agency in the first place, correct? So why does this happen? A couple reasons. First, some agencies, they're just inflating the numbers. They show you what looks good and not really what's making you money. And then there's some that are just dishonest. And I hate to say that because they're just not tied to your bottom line. They're tracking platform metrics, and that's about it. They're not tracking your book jobs, and your book jobs are what's making you money. And third, and this is a big one here, because a lot of what you see online just isn't real, and not always is it repeatable. Some systems are repeatable regardless of what industry, but the results aren't going to be repeatable. So what you're seeing a bunch of screenshots of some cherry pick case studies, or big claims designed to sell you something. You know, um, None of that's really helping you grow. Before we get too far in here, I just wanted to see if this channel is even worth your time, okay? Because you need to know who I am. All right, my name's John, and this is Popish Media, and I work with home service contractors across the board, okay? And I'm gonna be straight with you. I have clients, but I'm still building my track record of documented results. And because of that, I'm not gonna put a bunch of fake case studies out there. I'm not going to throw out numbers that I can't prove, and I'm definitely not going to pretend that I've done some things that I haven't. But here's what I do have. I got a real understanding of what actually works in marketing right now. I know how leads move through a business. I know how to track what matters, and I know how to connect your ad to real revenue. And that's what I'm going to teach you. I don't want to give you a bunch of hype. I don't want to give you a bunch of shortcuts. I just want to be upfront. So I built this channel on three basic principles here. I want to give you real research. I want to give you real frameworks. And I want to give you real honesty. And that means if I give you a stat, I need to be able to tell you where it came from. So if I give you a strategy, I'm going to tell you what the framework of that strategy is, not what the guarantee is, because there aren't any guarantees. And when I do have real results, I'm going to show you the full picture, okay? And not just what the highlight reel is. Here's the standard I'm going to hold myself to. I'll show you exactly what matters, and not any vanity metrics. All right, I'll break down how you could read what your market is doing as far as like what's working and what's not working, and I'll give you the exact questions that you could ask your agency that you're working with, so you can tell if you know what if they know what they're doing or not. Because most contractors aren't losing money because their marketing isn't working. They're losing because they can't see what's actually happening. And my hope is that you'll just subscribe to this, because I'm going to be putting out new material all the time. I aim for one a week. Maybe that'll increase as the years go by. I don't know. But here's the reality right now. Most of your competitors either aren't marketing or they're just spending money blindly. And that means that the bar is set really low. And that's not good for you as a contractor. So if you can just get clear on a few things, all right, what it is you're spending your money on, all right, and what it's producing in terms of like book jobs. And then you need to look at where it's breaking down at as well. Because if you can do all three of those things, you're one step ahead of the game. So you're not really looking for a magic system here. You just need a little more clarity. So let me ask you, all right, do you actually know what your cost per booked estimate is? Have you asked that? Do you know what your speed to lead is? Do you know which campaigns are producing real jobs and not just clicks? Because if not, that's a great starting point. All right? You know, the contractor industry is it's under fire right now. There's a lot of integrity issues out there right now, and I'm seeing it left and right with my own clients. They question me on things. How can they offer this? How can they say this? How can they? Why can't? Like, hey man, I never made those claims. The claims that I did make, I'm gonna go ahead and back and support. Um, there's just a real honesty problem out there. But your business doesn't have to fall victim to this. My name's John Popish. This is Popish Media, and every week I'm going to put something out here that's going to help you understand your marketing just a little bit better, so you can make better decisions with the money that you're spending. I'll see you in the next video.